Well, after a number of years of collecting knives and making videos on YouTube, I've decided to sit down and make a video about my knife collection. Roll that intro. I'm also kind of making this video for me because I'm going to be going through and getting rid of knives that I don't use a lot or don't want anymore. So kind of showing myself as well as you guys where we've started to where we've gone. I'm not going to talk about every single piece because that would take way too long. I've got like 50 something knives here on the table and a couple more that I'm not going to show just because they're not that great. But let's go ahead and jump into the video. We'll start off on the budget side where I started when I started collecting knives about 10 or so-ish, maybe more years ago, and start off with some sentimental ones, kind of where we started, and then end up here with all the really nice ones that I've been able to buy over the years as I've gotten into collecting knives and using good quality knives a little bit more. Alright, so the first knife that I ever got was this one right here. This one's sentimental because my grandfather gave it to me and he has since passed away. But I carried this one for a number of years. Broke the tip off of that blade. That was kind of sad, so we had to grind it down a little bit and make it smooth on the end again. But this was the first knife that I ever got, and that kind of started my love for knives. Then next after that, I don't remember, it was one of these two. Either the Victorinox Climber, which I love this knife, carried it for a lot of years. One of the most viewed videos on the channel is about this knife. This one was the first knife that I remember cutting myself with. Got a pretty nasty cut when I closed it on my finger, and then either before or right after this one I got this AKOGR one because I wanted a camouflage Swiss Army knife. Obviously not Swiss Army, it's an off-brand knockoff, but it's got a lot of the similar tools to a Swiss Army knife. But that one, those are like the first knives I remember getting. Other notable ones in this section, this is the first multi-tool I ever got at a gas station. And then the first knife that I started EDCing or everyday carrying was this $1.97 folder from Walmart. And this is when I started to get really big into everyday carry. So I had this one. This is the original one I bought almost, I'd say, probably close to 6 years ago, maybe more, 6 or 7 years ago. So still have that one, and then I found this one in the woods when we were camping one time. Basically the same thing, but I just picked it up because, you know, those are some of the notable first knives down here. This is the first fixed blade I ever got. UST Paraknife 4.0, one of the best budget fixed blades at that point in time that I'd seen, and still I'd say for that time when I was buying knives, one of the better knives I've bought. This is a survival knife that I got at a garage sale, estate sale that I found. I thought it was kind of cool. Probably gonna get rid of that one, but it's cool. Some other knockoff Swiss Army knives. This was also a gift to me. I do like these. These are Coleman brand. Because these are actually pretty close to actual Victorinox. I mean, obviously not Victorinox, but quality-wise and the way the scissors work and stuff like that. A lot of times, like with this other one, the scissors don't work really well, but this one, the scissors are really bitey, just like the Victorinox, and then this is like a knockoff of the classic SD. Like this one a lot, and I also have another one of these from mydogtag.com that I keep on one of my keychains. Benchmade clones that I picked up in the last couple years, kind of cool. The 941 sucks, but the bug out one is actually pretty close to the actual one. But you know, those were 20 bucks a piece and figured try them out. This is a cool, unique one. This was given to me by a coworker for my birthday a couple years ago. It's a folder, but it also, you know, looks like a fixed blade combat kind of knife with the finger grooves and everything. So that one's not one I've ever carried, but I think it's kind of cool. So that one's definitely a special one. Then we have first full-on multi-tool I got was this Ozark Trail one. Nice truck multi-tool, budget. If it breaks or gets stolen, oh well. Crescent folding knife with a flipper on it. This is actually, I'd say, one of the best knives at that point in time I bought for 10 bucks. But super snappy, sharp, nice deep carry pocket clip. It's a good knife for the price that I got it at. More companion. One of the second or third fixed blades I got, still holding strong. You know, these things are great, super cheap, but they work really, really well. Essie Azula 2, I got this 3 or 4 years ago. Love this knife. highly recommend this one. This is one of my favorite fixed blades that I've carried the most. Then we're getting more and more into knives down here that I've used a lot or just recently got. High quality ones that I really like and that I would definitely recommend. All right, so down here we have pretty much all the high quality knives or knives that are name brand or ones that I have picked up over the last couple of years here that are really good. I would highly recommend most of these. Not all of these are great, but some of these are super cool and special as well. Probably the one I would not recommend on here is this Calamus fixed blade one. I got this one as a gift as well, I think. But you know, it's a unique design, but not really my cup of tea. It's got multi-tool little things that pop out of the handle. So unique, but you know, it's one of those knives that's not bad, but not good. Picked up this Smith & Wesson HRT one-sided dagger style knife over the summer. I was traveling around in a rural area and this was just a knife I saw on Amazon. This is like 20 bucks and I picked this up for like 8. So that was one of those ones I got on sale that I thought was kind of cool. Just random, unique. SE Azula, we talked about that. Folders that I would recommend that I've carried a ton. Spyderco Tenacious, love this knife. Best knife for about the $50 to $70 price range that you can get. This thing is a beast, love this thing. Also, Leatherman Wave Plus, love that multi-tool. USA made, great multi-tool. Skeletool CX, the multi-tool that I've carried the longest or the most. And this one is really, really nice. We got Civivi Elementum, one of those ones that was one of the first high-end folders that I was able to get. High-end in quotes, but you know, it's a Civivi, so it's pretty nice. Then this is one I recently picked up. This is Ozark Trail 7.5 inch version 2. Got the version 1 in my pocket right now. I've been carrying this one for a while. Got the new version of that. That's the funny thing is right now I've got a $10 knife in my pocket. I've got all these really cool knives that I do carry quite a bit actually, but right now I've got a $10 knife in my pocket. Fixed blades. This one is a Charade mini machete. Kind of cool. Like this one, it was only about 10 bucks where I picked it up and got a lot of good use out of this one. So this one's pretty cool. Makes a great camping knife. Box cutters that I like for everyday carry or everyday use. Milwaukee Fastback, of course. Love this thing. I actually have 2 of them and plan on getting more because they're great to stash around in toolboxes and tool bags. One of the best box knives that I've ever had. And then this Cobalt one, I don't remember where I got this from, but it's kind of almost like the Big Idea design, little everyday ones, but it's got a pocket clip on the back, a little screwdriver blade on there. And this one's nice. I used this when I worked in retail along with this one. But like that, small, compact. Down here, probably the most expensive knives that I've got in my collection next to the multi-tools. One of my favorite ones that I've got, this is a Cobra Tech Fang OTF. Picked that up while I was traveling. Super cool. They have a lifetime warranty on everything but the paint, which as you can see is rapidly deteriorating. I've had this one for about 8 months, probably almost a year coming up here, and the paint has really taken a beating, but great knife overall. Benchmade bug out. This one's one of the first, this was the first Benchmade that I ever got, and this was a gift to me from my family for completing a big continuing education course. Surprised me with it, so that was my first Benchmade. The bug out, you know, you can't go wrong with that, so like this knife. Pretty sentimental. Benchmade Griptilian, which is pretty stiff right now. This one I bought off of a friend for a pretty good deal. He collects Benchmades. The guy's got Benchmades coming out his ears, but shout out to Jeremiah for letting me get this one from him. But I always wanted a Griptilian and couldn't really find one on the open market, so I got this one from him. And it's a great little knife. Benchmade Bailout. Love the Bailout. Another Grail knife that was one of the knives that I saw for years and years, and I was like, man, I want that knife, but I can't afford it. And the same person I bought this Griptilian from like watches for sales and discounts and things, and he had a discount, so I got this one for a really good price. So happy about that, and I'm glad I have this one. It was one that I wanted for years and years and was finally able to get, and this is just a good knife. I really like this knife. Probably like the bug out's great for everyday carry, but I'd say if you want like the next level up in everything, Bailout and M4 I've already kind of chipped the blade, so that's kind of sad, but I can sharpen that out. But cool tactical black class knife, like this one a lot. And these fixed blades here are the most recent ones that I've gotten. It's a Harbor Freight Buck 119 clone. That's about $30 at Harbor Freight. And this is a real Buck 119 special. I got a steal of a deal on this one, which is one of the reasons why I like this one. Some of these knives, I like them because I got good deals, or they were ones I wanted and I was finally able to get. But a lot of them I have shopped for sales, or found accidentally on sale, like I did this one. Bought the Harbor Freight one. I was like, you know, I need to make a video to compare the two of them, make a review, torture test, whatever about them. And no sooner had I said, oh, I need to find a real Buck 119, than I went to one of my local stores and they had it on clearance at like 60 to 70% off of the original price, which I was like, you know what, let's buy it. And then probably one of the coolest, most unique special fixed blades I would say is this one. This one, I have a friend, I don't know if he still makes a ton of knives, but he made knives for a while. So Danny Green over at Scully Forge custom made this one for me. We sat down, designed it, super chunky, super thick, got some finger grooves back here. I believe this is G10 or micarta on the handles. And then he's got his little logo over here on the blade. Custom brown Cerakote, green handles, custom green Kydex sheath. And this one was really cool. Got to go over to his shop, kind of visit him for a while and watch him make this. So this is one of the coolest fixed blades that I've got, I would say, because it's custom. You can't go wrong with a custom designed knife. But that is most of the knives in my collection, you know, a little bit of everything. All right, guys, that is almost all the knives in my collection that are worth showing on camera, at least. And I wanted to show this before I went through and cleaned out, kind of like I did with my flashlights a while back, to show here's where we started from, here's where we are now. If you can't afford, you know, the super expensive knives, buy a cheap one, use that, save up your money, and eventually you can get one of your Grail knives or something, like I was able to finally get the bailout. And we are in 2025 now, where we've seen in the knife world, in the knife industry, there are a lot of really good knives for under $100, even under $200, that are really good quality, even super cheap, like knives that would be considered gas station or Walmart knives even now, like we've seen with the Ozark trail knife. For $10, you can have an excellent everyday carry knife that's good with an axis lock. It used to be, you know, 5-6 years ago when I got into knives, you had to get up here into the, you know, $200, $300, $400 Benchmades before you could get a locking mechanism like that that's easy to use and really nice and snappy and convenient. Whereas now, you know, go buy $180 bug out, or you can just go to Walmart and buy the $10 Ozark trail knife. And this does not replace a Benchmade or a high-end knife like that, but there is definitely a place for these knives. As you've seen, I've got a lot of cheap ones that I used over the years before I got to here, and they're good in their place. You know, when you need a knife that you know you're probably going to break or has a possibility of getting lost or stolen, you don't want to spend your money on super expensive knives. But the cheap knives in 2025 have gotten better. And I would say steer clear from most of them, obviously, but things like some of these ones at Walmart lately, like the Ozark Trail one and a few others, are good. As well as, you know, I would recommend, if you want a good everyday carry knife, Spyderco Tenacious. If I could only have one knife for the rest of my life for everyday carry, we're not talking about multi-tools or other things. I love my Benchmades, I love a lot of these other ones, but the Spyderco Tenacious, man, carried that for 3 or 4 years, like every single day. Beat the thing, using it every single day, multiple times a day. And it still looks good, it still functions well. I've had to clean out the mechanism a little bit, but other than that, this is like a lifetime knife for $65, $70. And that's where we've come to this day and age, where for under $50 even, you can get a good knife that would be a long-term knife. But as you can see, the whole gamut of knives. So something for everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit of my philosophy on knives and a little bit of where I started, you know. Started out with first knife, little folder, classic style folder. Moved on to Victorinox, then, you know, started carrying every single day either the Victorinox or this $1.97 Walmart knife. And now we've come to 2025, where Walmart knives are almost unrecognizable compared to what they used to be. But you can start out, and eventually someday you can get to the other end. There was a time where I would go window shopping online and I never thought I would own a Benchmade. Never thought I would own a Leatherman. I wanted a Leatherman definitely, but I never was sure if I'm ever going to get to that point. And now I've got 3 Benchmades, 2 Leathermans, Civivi, Spyderco, Ozark Trail, Cobra Tech, Victorinox, Essie. You know, take your time, find the ones that you want, pick them out, save up your money, and get what you really want. Because you deserve that. When you find something you want, save up, vision board, search for it. Eventually you'll get there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful taking a look at my knife collection. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it inspires you to start a collection of your own if you haven't. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I will leave some links below for a few of these that I recommend, and I did make a full video about the best everyday carry knives in 2025 for every budget, so I'll leave a link to that video, and that's got a lot more information about all these. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button 2025 style if you're into that sort of thing, and share this video with a friend. Let me know what you've got in your knife collection in the comments down below. I would love to hear about your knife collection. Sometimes you just get on YouTube, watch a video about knife collection. So hope you enjoyed. This video is a lot longer than my normal videos, so go ahead and subscribe if you have not done so already. As always, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next video.